Hi, my name is Kara, and on this video I'm going to be showing you some picture books that I've gotten recently to build my home library. I'm really excited about that, and on this channel I like to share a lot of board book recommendations for you to build your baby's first library, but I'm also always thinking ahead for my son. He's 7 months now, but I like to think ahead of to preschool years or even early elementary age and just getting good quality picture books that'll last us for years to come. I love Charlotte Mason's philosophies. I haven't read her volumes yet. I still have some time to do that though before my son reaches school age. But I have learned a lot about living picture books and what makes a good quality picture book, and I like to look at Ambleside Online's book lists. They have a really good, if you go to Ambleside Online and look at year 0, it has this whole list of good picture books for kindergarten age. And then I don't know, I've listened to podcasts by Simply Charlotte Mason to get book ideas from her, from Sonia Schaefer, and I don't know, I've just been accumulating this big list on Amazon of these picture books that I want to have someday in our home library. And periodically I'll go to Goodwill, or we went to a used book sale at our library the other day, and beforehand I'll go to that Amazon list and I'll just scroll down so I can remind myself, okay, yeah, these are good picture books. And so then when we're at those sales, I can just quickly thumb through and find good picture books. So I'm really excited. We found so many good ones this week. First off, I got some from Amazon. So I'll show you these and then I'll go into the picture books I got at the sales. But I wanted to get some fall picture books, or fall board books, I should say, for my baby. So I got a pumpkin named Mouse. Super cute. It's really simple. This pumpkin is sad. Very basic, but I think it'll be fun to act that out with him. The Busy Squirrel, I liked this one because it had a lot of fall leaves and fall activities that the squirrel is doing, and it has a lot of animal sounds in it, so that'll be fun to do. And then I got Bear Says Thanks from the, I think there's a series of bear books. On the back it says Bear Snores On, Bear's New Friend. I think we have a Christmas one. But I thought this one would be fun to have for Thanksgiving. So anyhow, I'll probably do a whole video about fall picture books later. So moving on from that. At the used library book sale, I found this one, God Made All of Me. God Made All of Me is a book to help children protect their bodies. And I've heard a lot of good things about this book and how to teach body boundary kind of things. And it's a sexual abuse prevention book. And so I'm glad to have this one on hand for us to do when he gets a little bit older than 7 months. I found Click Clack Moo, Cows Who Type. I don't think this would technically be considered a living book. But I don't know, maybe it would. But I loved this book as a child. I remember, do you remember that show, Reading Between the Lines? On PBS Kids. I loved that show back when I was homeschooled, and I remember there was an episode where they did this Click Clack Moo book, and I loved it. And so whenever I see this book, I always think of that episode, and I'm excited to have it just because of the nostalgia. Okay, I found the Raffi Christmas Treasury, and it has 14 illustrated songs and musical arrangements. And in this book, it has Frosty the Snowman, it has Jingle Bells. I'll try to find a good, some of these I've never heard of before, but Up on the Housetop. Really pretty illustrations, and I think this will be fun to have on hand to just learn the normal Christmas songs. Okay, Tops and Bottoms is a fun one that I remember from my childhood that I was excited to grab. It seems like it's been well loved, this book. I think it's gotten a little bit wet in the past. The pages are a little bit warped slightly, but not too bad. But I remember loving this book as a kid, and it reminds me of the story of Jacob and Laban in the Bible. So it's just fun to read this, and then eventually when he learns that Bible story, he'll be like, oh, it's Tops and Bottoms. So Dandelions is definitely one that I would consider a living book for teaching traveling west. All the covered wagons, kind of Little House on the Prairie vibes. But look at these illustrations. They are beautiful. It looks like they were painted on canvas. And it's just the story of this family who's traveling west through Nebraska, and it's told from one of the daughter's points of view, and it talks about the mom's struggle to be all alone out in the middle of the prairie. I grabbed it, like, so I should say, when I go to these library sales, like, this is the first one I've gone to with my son, and he was in his stroller sitting there, and like literally there's just like like a whole long row of all these like used books in like tubs, and I just pushed the stroller and literally just like flipped, like they would all be sitting there, right, and I just had to like flip through the books and just grab the book and hope that it's good and put it in the basket of my stroller and then check out. But they were so cheap. Like, they were like, I think I got all of these books from the sale for like $5.50 total. So I didn't sit there at the library and read all of Dandelions, but I read it when we got home after my son went to bed last night, and I loved it. Like, oh, it was such a good, touching story. Strega Nona, I had not read before, but I've heard great things about the book. Tommy DePaolo has been on a lot of really good, like, if you go to readaloudrevival.com and look at their book list, like they have a lot of Tommy DePaolo books on there. And again, I didn't read it when we were at the library, but I quickly looked at the pictures. Definitely I judged the book by the cover and the illustrations. I did not actually read the text. But again, it was super cheap. So got this one. I think it's funny. It was really cute. I got Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I get a classic. Super silly, but it's different than the movie. Do you remember the movie? The movie's kind of dumb. But that was a movie that my brother and I would watch a lot when we were going on road trips. We would watch the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movie. So now I have the book, and it's different. I remember reading it in like first grade. Last one I got from the library sale was Roxaboxen, illustrated by Barbara Cooney. And this is another one I've seen on those Charlotte Mason book lists. And let me just show you, like, the pictures are so pretty. And again, like, when I read it at home, it made me so happy that I grabbed it. It's such a beautiful story. And then speaking of Barbara Cooney, my son and I went to Goodwill the other day, and I actually found there Miss Rumphius, I think is how you would say it, by Barbara Cooney as well. And the illustrations on this one was super cute and like beautiful. And the story was super sweet too. And it is a little bit beat up because it's, you know, it was a Goodwill book. But there's a little note in the front that says, "To Amber with love from Cambria, July 10th, 1992. And then Cambria signed her name here. So I'm like, oh, that's cute. Like, it's a, how old? Like 33? 33-year-old book, at least. So, I don't know. I don't mind that's a little beat up. It adds to that vintage feel of the book. And then the last one I found at Goodwill was this Treasury of Mother Goose rhymes. So this one I looked at, like, I have this sort of book. It's by Publications International. I have a fairy tale book and a bedtime story book in the same sort of like old edged like style. So when I saw this one, it stood out to me. And I liked it because in the table of contents it's divided like by theme. So it starts off with like Old MacDonald's farm with, for example, I actually don't know a lot of Old MacDonald, Dickory Dickory Dare, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Cock-a-doodle-doo, Blah Blah Black Sheep, like all these poems about like farm animals. And then it has calendar rhymes. It has silly people rhymes, Little Boys and Girls. That has like Little Miss Tuppet and Little Jack Horner. Anyway, so it's like just a ton. Like, look at all that. Like a ton divided by theme. And the illustrations were really pretty. And there's just like 1 to 2 on a page, which I really like in nursery rhyme books. I like when it's just one picture, one poem, or like this where there's like one poem, one picture, one poem, one picture, but not like a ton per page. So I like that aspect of this, and so I grabbed this one at Goodwill. If you would like to see our other nursery rhyme favorite books that we have, check out this video right here where I go more in depth about those. Do you like watching picture book haul videos like this? Should I do more in the future as I go shopping? Let me know, give me a thumbs up, let me know in the comments. I'll talk to you again later. Bye.